You need to be more selfish. Hi, my name is Sarah. This is Good Advice, and today I'm going to be talking about being more selfish for yourself. First, I'm going to disclose that this is not about being selfish, like not helping other people in need or putting yourself over everything. This is not only about choosing you, but learning the power of saying no and not yes every time somebody needs you. When we grow up, people tell us that being selfish is a character flaw and that you should never be selfish and you should always put others before yourself a majority of the time growing up. I feel like that mindset has shifted a lot today. I'm glad it has. I feel like self-care has become a trend, which is a good trend. But I feel like we're following too many trends to the point where we're not even choosing ourselves anymore. We're choosing the internet version of ourselves that we want to be and not actually making it happen. I want to teach people that being selfish can be a good thing. And if you want to build a life that you are proud of, that being selfish is actually a huge part of that. So there is a few topics that I'm going to go over today. First, I'm going to talk about people pleasing. I'm also going to talk about your sacred window of time that you should be allotting into your daily schedule. And last, I will be talking about the cost of discipline. So first, we're talking about people pleasing. This is something I personally have a lot of experience with because I have a problem with making sure everybody else is happy before myself. I used to be so afraid of hurting people's feelings that I had the worst connection with my family possible because I refused to tell my friends no. It got to the point where my ex-roommate wanted to wake up at 3 a.m. and go to the gym at 4. My parents said no, but I was so afraid of not being liked by this person that I was willing to get in trouble with my family, ruin my parents' sleep for work the next day, that I went to the gym with this person. And I regret it still because it hurt my relationship with my family at the time. If you say you are available all the time, then you are not available for yourself any of the time. And we are on this earth one time, and you can't make your schedule around other people for the rest of your life, or else on your obituary, they're going to be like, what did this person do? And all that's going to be written on it is say, do things for other people, not accomplishments for yourself. Being available is also the enemy of discipline. Discipline is something that's been really hard for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people in this day and age, because the internet has absolutely consumed all of us, and it's really hard to say no to the internet when it's in your face every single day of your life. Another thing with being selfish at night, I know a lot of people like to talk and do things like gaming or going out to bars or staying up late talking and just doing all sorts of things at 11 p.m. and after. But if you are available to other people in the nighttime, then you're not going to be able to wake up for yourself in the morning. And it's going to be a continuous cycle of you working for other people, not just at your job, but in the evening as well. And I know that we feel guilty every time somebody texts us randomly at 9 p.m. like, hey, like, I'm at the bar, you should come out. Or, hey, like, I'm on the game, you should hop on really quick. But every time you're saying yes to somebody else, you are saying no to the progress that you could have had the next day or the next morning with whatever you are working on to achieve your highest and best self. And I'm not saying this is an easy thing to fix. It's actually very hard to fix something like that because you want to keep relationships with people. And I'm not saying you need to ignore people every time, but you need to find a balance for yourself that works. And maybe that includes having a calendar for the amount of time that you spend with people versus the amount of time you spend with your family or yourself. And prioritize that with your goals and what you want to become later in life. Hold on, I have to make sure my tofu's not burning. So next I'm going to be using the sacred window that I like to use. This window, sometimes I have to split up into different hours during the day depending on my work schedule, my extracurricular activities, and anything else I want to get done in a day. But basically this sacred window is anything that is for me, not for my job, not for school, not for extracurriculars, but for myself. And this doesn't just mean self-care. This could also mean hobbies that you want to get better at, like drawing, or even playing a game just by yourself to get better at it, or cooking. Anything that you're wanting to grow in, even being a content creator, which is my main focus right now on editing, is something that I spend the most time on because I love content creation and I don't necessarily care about the followers that I have, but just speaking to a camera and the internet about my experiences is something that I'm really passionate about. So I set a 3-hour window where I get to work on this. And like I said again, this window varies. So it can be more, it can be less time in your day. So from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I am usually at the gym just because I like getting it over with in the day, because it does take up a lot of time in my evening, just because a lot of people like to go at night. Like I'm actually about to go right now in the evening because I had to drive home today and I know I'm gonna be there for a while. Also in this time frame, I am on Do Not Disturb. I make sure only my emergency contacts need to be in touch with me. And if somebody really did need me, they would text me twice or call me twice because that turns off the Do Not Disturb option. And this isn't because I don't care about other people that I go on Do Not Disturb. It's because if I don't care about myself first at this point, that I will not be a good friend or person to be around if I don't give myself that time of day first. Next, I want to talk about the cost of discipline. Now, this is something that can hurt in the beginning, but in the long run, it will be very, very beneficial to you. So becoming disciplined is something that's going to cause you to lose people. And these are people who think you are easy access because they know that you're always going to be there and they could use you, in a better lack of words. I actually started to get called crazy when I was waking up at 6 a.m. and prioritizing myself. A lot of people said, like, that's so weird. Why would you do that? Like, I could never do that. I could never do that for myself. And that's okay, because I know that I'm doing something right if other people think that it's a little weird. People like to call me strange or different as well. And if somebody calls you boring because you're prioritizing yourself, or they're like, boo, like you're not going out with me, you need to be the best version of yourself. And if it takes other people bullying you to get to that point, that's a them problem, not a you problem, because you are working to become the best version of yourself possible. So I'm calling you to be selfish tomorrow morning. I'm calling you to start being the person you want to become as soon as tomorrow. Don't check your text when you wake up tomorrow. No one's probably texted you since 10 p.m. the night before. Don't even check the news. Like, I used to check the news in the morning and it just put me off on a bad start. If anything, watch the news after. Just focus on the thing that you said you'd want to do for yourself. If you do want to reclaim your mornings, please comment down below and I will help you in any way that I can. I have created a checklist for helping you wake up in the morning, and I have also created a financial budget sheet if you are trying to be financially responsible. If there's anything else you need, let me know. With that, that will be my video for the day, and I will see you guys later. Bye!